Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Crazy American Lesson 4, More Sounds of the Alphabet. Now, Lesson 1 was learning the alphabet. Lesson 2 was learning the sounds that letters make. Lesson 3 was phonics, or sounding out words and actually reading. Lesson 4 is other sounds of the alphabet. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. There are in total 44 sounds that you make when you speak English. The alphabet and the sounds the letters make represent 26 of those, but there are more. And you can break them down into two categories. Vowels actually make different sounds, and we'll go through that. And then there are also sounds that are produced by combinations of letters. The good news is, once you know those sounds, the 44 sounds, you can read any word in English, okay? We're going to break this lesson into two parts. First, we're going to go through different sounds that the vowels make. And second, we're going to go through the sounds that combinations of letters make. Okay? So let's start with vowels. Now, as you remember, the vowels are A, E, I, O, and U. Now, the simple thing here is that vowels can make the sound of the letter itself, or they can make the sounds that we learned before. So I'll give you an example as I go through each. A makes the sound A or A. E makes the sound E or E. I makes the sound I or I. O makes the sound A or O. U makes the sound or U. And guess what? There's another letter that acts as a vowel, and it's Y. Y makes two different sounds, and we'll go through that in a little bit. So let me just show you examples of each of the vowels and the different sounds they make. Okay? Here we go. A, in this case, when you see a vowel followed by a consonant and an E, usually it makes the hard sound of the letter, or A, instead of A. Okay? So the examples here are eight. Another example is C-A-K-E. Cake. Okay? Now, there's one more trick that I'm going to teach you, and it's called context. Okay? So you know the sounds of the letters, you use phonics to sound them out. The other trick that you can use to read English is context, or knowing what it is you're talking about. Many of you already speak English a little or hear English, and you know what the topic is that you're talking about. Okay? So I'll give you an example. With this, when you see A-T-E, if you're talking about food that someone had, then you think, okay, I pronounce this ate instead of ate, and so on. So that's a really important thing. As you're reading and sounding out words, think about what the topic is that you're talking about, and remember words that you've heard before, and that'll help you pronounce. Okay? So let's go through the rest of the vowels. Here is E. So in this case, it makes the hard sound, H-E, he. Here's another example, E-V-E-N, even. Okay? Give you another example with I. So in this case, B-I-K-E, bike. It's not bique. If you're talking about something that someone's riding down the road, you wouldn't say bique. In this case, it's bike. And again, here's I, followed by a consonant, followed by an E. And if you remember, that's when you say, use the hard sound of I, not I. Okay? Here's another example. O-L-D. Old. Okay? Another example. O-K-A-Y. Okay. You wouldn't say old. If you're talking about how many years someone has, you think it's old, not old. Okay? And the same thing. Okay. Here we go with you, and this is so or sure. Another example for you is cute. Okay? Now, let's turn to Y, and I'll show you the sounds that the letter Y makes. So, as a consonant, it makes the sound, as we remember, y. it can sometimes act as a vowel, and I'll give you two examples. In one case, it makes a sound I, just like the letter I, and it's usually at the end of words. So in this case, by. Here's another example, T-R-Y, try. Okay? The other sound that Y makes is E, like the hard sound E. Okay? And again, here's another example of this, Annie. Another one, B-A-B-Y, baby, baby. Okay? So that's it. So you remember that vowels can make different sounds. They can either make the hard sound of the vowel or they can make the soft sound. And as you read words, you can use context to help you pronounce those words correctly. Okay, so that's the first part. Now, we're going to go to the second part, and I'll show you combinations of letter, and we'll be right back.